Hello there, fellow beings of per se. My mum's going to think I've really, 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 really lost the plot. But as you know, this is my normal everyday wear. And this is actually two masks because they're not big enough. And these are what are currently being sold in the shop by the local shops, and not Spar, not Tesco's, not places like that, but the local Asian community. And these are what are being sold. I haven't lost the plot. I am showing you what is currently being sold in my local shop. My hat, and many people wear hats these days, and now it's actually legal, it's actually illegal, nearly ish, to not wear a mask, which is now encouraging this hide my neck hoodie. So how are we going to protect until Great Britain make a U-turn from what is currently going on through the dynamics of the WHO? How are we going to now? Donald Trump has sent in his underground force team to many places around the UK. And many people have been trained for something that the public are not ready for. And that is something deeper than you could ever imagine, and things that you probably wouldn't even want to know about. And I'm not doing anything strange or weird. This is what the country is asking us to do right now. It's asking us to put masks on, and it's asking us to protect ourselves from the said coronavirus. People are scared. Am I bringing fear into you right now? Fear is adrenaline. It basically is something that creates a chemical that is released into our blood. And fear is something that these people want us to have, especially children. Now, listen again.
Problem. You have no car or whatever it is you're making. So we've learned a good lesson. I think a lot of smart people knew that before. But we've distributed many hundreds of millions of masks. This pandemic has underscored the vital importance of reshoring our supply chains and bringing them back into the United States where they belong, where they should have never left. What happens if you're in a war and you have a supply chain where half of your supplies are given to you by other countries? Who are the people that thought of this? These are globalists. It doesn't work. It certainly doesn't work during rough times, bad times, or dangerous times. So we're going to continue to fight the virus. We're talking to China. We spoke to them a long time ago about going in. We want to go in. We want to see what's going on. And we weren't exactly invited, I can tell you that. If you look at some of the investigations that are going on in terms of World Health Organization, and I'll take it a step further, World Trade Organization too, World Trade. We did years ago, many years ago, the World Trade Organization, from the day China came in, that's when China bloomed. They were mainlining it, and then boom, they were up like a rocket ship because they took advantage of every little ridiculous clause in the World Trade Organization documents. They were a developing nation. China was a developing nation. They make the cars, they make the plant, they make everything. And they're a developing nation. So we've had I might have gotten elected to a certain extent because of China and other countries. One of my big things was trade. The United States is getting ripped off in trade. Now Japan is paying $40 billion and buying a lot. That's before we even do the deal. U.S.-Mexico was a great deal. The NAFTA was one of the worst deals ever made in trade history. And I would also put the World Trade Organization in that same group. So I was very tough on these countries. With China, we made the deal, and we became friendly. But then this happened, and this is tantamount. This is something that's really incredible. I do want to read the something that I just saw today on television. I was looking, and I just said, that's an interesting statement. We talk about the Democrats, and it was a statement made by Bret Baier, good guy, smart. On February 19th, there was a Democratic debate in Las Vegas. That was February 19th. That's way after I closed entrance from China into our country. So Bret goes, on February 19th, there was a Democratic debate in Las Vegas. 3 words weren't said during the debate: virus, coronavirus, or COVID-19. Those 3 words never came up. That was, I just thought it was a very interesting, because, you know, you hear these people, some of the people, the Democrats said, oh, this, that. It never even was a part of their dialogue. Now they bring it up because you see what happened, so now, but they didn't bring it up. But I brought it up. I brought it up a long time before I made the trade deal, and I was not easy to deal with. I was not easy to deal with. They understand that. We still have 25% on $250 billion that they have to pay us. And it's a lot of money. We're taking in a lot of money, and we've had a lot of beneficiaries, including our farmers and ranchers. So in addition, we've launched an unprecedented effort to develop new treatments and therapies to battle the plague. Therapies, to me, are the most exciting. The vaccines are obviously so important, but the therapies are immediate.
He's being sarcastic.
We have some things that are really looking good. Really looking good. We call COVID Treatment Acceleration Program. We're accelerating all of these great companies that are looking, and we have government agencies looking too.
He's telling you this too. He's not actually both. He's set up private against government.
Speed development, anti-rival, and if you look at what we're doing in terms of the speed, it's unrivaled. It's totally unrivaled. There's never been anything like it. The FDA and Dr. Stephen Hahn, a highly respected man from a great institution, left that job to come here. The job he's doing is incredible. And we're working with Scott, his predecessor is terrific. We're working with a lot of people, but the speed of development for antiviral, antibody, and immune therapies is at a level that nobody thought even possible. And I will say this, we're getting very good results. It's a little soon yet, but if we could find the therapies that would solve the problem, if somebody has a problem, we can get it taken care of, so it's not so devastating as it has been. With that, I'm going to ask Vice President Pence to come up, and I have to say it's a Sunday evening, and this man has not stopped. He's working, we all are in all fairness, but he's been working with his task force and everyone else round the clock for months, and I just want to thank Mike.
He's independent from him.
Thank you, Mr. President.
He is task force for government.
Let me echo your words about all the dedicated men and women on the White House Coronavirus Task Force. And the team that you assembled in January. Some of them are with us today. Seema Verma with CMS, Admiral Giroir with the U.S. Public Health Service, Dr. Steve Hahn of the FDA, and others represent a level of commitment and dedication that's been inspiring for me to have the privilege to work with. And so I thank you for your gracious words. That White House Coronavirus Task Force met today. It was reported to us that at this moment, more than 746,000 Americans have tested positive for the coronavirus. Unfortunately, more than 68,000 Americans have fully recovered. But sadly, more than 41,000 Americans have lost their lives to the coronavirus. And we always want to express our deepest sympathies.
I'm going to leave it there. You've got to know how to take Donald Trump, and he's giving you so many clues. He's giving you, like, sometimes he'll say rocket. Now, I want to say something to you that's going to be revealed that is going to shock you all, and it's really, 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 really hard. Now, let me put my hat back on for this because it gives me a headache, and even I need to digest this stuff sometimes because it's really hard to deal with. And this is what's going to come out from what was really being shipped in China from where the virus came from. You ready? Are you sure about this? Can you handle it? Are you sure?
Is for its known rejuvenating effects. Why do you think some of these old Illuminati Satanists live so long?
It turns out that drinking children's blood is an anti-aging device. This is just really sick and disgusting, but it's a fact. It's a chemical fact. And if you drink adrenalized children's blood, which is to say you terrorize the child, not just with sodomy, but with torture and with other satanic ritual things, if you adrenalize the child's blood before you kill them and drink their blood, this is a doubly effective anti-aging device. You can also harvest children's bone marrow. So children are being killed for their bone marrow as an anti-aging device for the elite. I don't make this stuff up. It's gone on throughout history. This is not new.
A piece of skin that came from a young person far, far away, and they somehow figured out how to extract.
It's foreskin from a Korean baby.
What you want in a pancake is to have the consistency of young human flesh.
It's spongy and has life to it.
You were the guy with brightly colored undergarments, and you got soft human flesh in front of you.
I eat children. How old are you? 12. Oh, okay. Only to 10. Only to 10.
That's good. That's good.
Children and pineapple. Children and pineapple.
Actions by Hillary Clinton do you think are the most satanic?
Which what?
Which actions by Hillary Clinton you think are the most satanic?
The willingness to kill babies, innocent babies.
What is this shit? That stuff makes pure mescaline seem like ginger beer, man. Adrenochrome.